Hi there, everyone. I want to welcome you to this special episode where we will be interviewing the ladies coming to the Minneapolis conference. I'm Christina Vidovich, a visibility strategist, and we have Amy Nubson, the growth strategist, and today's guest, Heather, the executive and transitions coach. Welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
We're so excited to have you here, and especially as well as a speaker at our conference.
I am very excited to be sharing when you reached out to me and said, women getting visible. And can you talk about confidence? And I said, oh my gosh, yes. Hello. Can we talk about the mindsets that women find themselves in and how to get into a more productive one? Oh, yes. This is going to be fun.
Amazing, amazing. So, Heather, what is it that got you into this and that really drives the message that you share?
Absolutely. Well, you see the term executive and transitions coach. So what the heck is that mean? That means that I am an executive turned coach who now gets the privilege to walk alongside these amazing high impact leaders as they go through every transition in their executive career, whether they planned it or not. And that's an important part of my story is because I've had several pivots along the way. Some I decided to do on my own, and some that the world decided for me. And when you have that shared experience, you say, boy, I wished I'd had someone that walked alongside me. And that's what I want to bring. I have the best job.
You do. So incredible. And it's true. I mean, how many times we go through transitions in our lives, and it's so wonderful to have that support.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. And who do you typically work with, Heather? Like, is it everything, but I know as executives, but do you also help business owners as well?
I do. I actually say that I coach innovators. And so it doesn't mean that you have to open a high-tech company. It's about the mindset. Innovators love to evolve. They love to grow. They're not in that fixed mindset of, okay, this is the way it's always going to be. They love to think creatively and differently. So yes, do I find them in the medtech space? Absolutely. Do I find them in small businesses, in entrepreneurs? Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yes, and I love that because you just spoke to it. Entrepreneurs are definitely on that creative streak. This idea, next shiny object, where should I go?
And mindset's a big part of that too. We get really excited, especially as innovative people. And then we're like, wait a minute. Then these like crushing kind of emotions or possibilities kind of like overwhelm. And then that mind shift needs to kind of happen along with those innovations and the ideas to move forward.
Yes.
So I love that you're helping them with that.
Yes. It is that key to unlocking it. Because you can have a tool, you can have an action plan, you can have a practice. And that's one part of the stool. It's like you got a stool with two legs and you're kind of falling over if you don't have that third leg. And that third leg is the attitude that you go into things. What is the lens in which you see the world? And that's the amazing part of it is that we get to choose. That is all our choice of, do we want to look at the world through the lens of how we've always seen something? Or do we want to choose a new lens? Ooh, choice. It's like, which shirt am I going to wear on my podcast today? I have a choice. Is it pink? Is it blue? Is it purple? What is the lens I want to see the world? The same wonderful choice that says, I'm feeling pink today, can make me say, well, I'm going to look at this opportunity with curiosity. Or maybe I'm going to look at it with wisdom. Or maybe today all I got is a little bit of empathy for myself, and that's what I can bring. But we choose. And that's where the empowerment comes from. And by the way, that's where confidence comes from, is I chose, and I chose to walk through something difficult, and it was still hard. But I did it.
I did it. Well, those are Christina's words. I did it, right? I love that you've been talking like some of our language throughout your whole conversation. Curiosity. I love curiosity. And I think everybody that, if you want an easy way to live through life, curiosity is a huge part of that. Being curious, asking questions, being involved, that wonder of life is so great. I did that as Christina's language.
Yes. And it's fun because that curiosity can bring about that fear and that vulnerability as we're moving into our visibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would love to find out what ways or tips or techniques do you have that you give others to like step forward through this?
Yes. Well, let's start with that curiosity that you talked about. Because when we get curious and we step out of our comfort zone into something else, absolutely, our brain is like, hello, we are not feeling very safe anymore because we just stepped into like the big space. And first tip is just congratulations. That's a symbol of what you're doing. Oftentimes we get that feeling of like, oh, I feel scared and something is wrong. So if you reframe that to say, cool, I'm feeling uncomfortable. Guess what? That means I am about to play big. I'm going to need my pack around me, but I am about to play big. And so it's tip number one is it's your story. You tell it how you want to. You name that feeling. I'm a former scientist, and that's one of the things that we learn here is that the feelings that you have, our behaviors come from what we name them. So that same feeling that you get when you're excited is actually the same feeling you get when you're anxious. Same thing. But our brain is like, oh, I'm excited, or oh, I'm anxious. And then, boom, you behave accordingly. So tip number one is name it.
I never thought about naming it. That's quite clever. And how we perceive the feeling is how we receive it.
Exactly.
So that's really, I love that.
So when you get that tingling feeling, Amy, in your chest, the next time you do something big, you have a choice to say, okay, I'm really kind of scared, and get small. Or you can say, ooh, that means this is going to be cool. Same feeling. God. You've now chosen the mindset. So reframing, naming and reframing it. It's a big part.
Yes, and stepping into your growth. I mean, that is just a beautiful way to just come into that next step with that set of confidence. Ooh.
And then eventually, I think too, part of that confidence, you don't even notice or recognize that excitement becomes exciting instead of anxiety. Like it's really interesting how you could start to use that energy so much differently.
Yes.
And one of my favorite quotes is like, I had to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can step into this uncomfortableness because I know I can survive it and it'll be okay. And whatever will be, will be. So, yeah.
And Amy, you brought up one of the other tools we're going to talk about in this, which is about measuring backwards and tracking what we've done. So many times we look to measure forward. We got this big thing in front of us, and then our brain's like, too big, too scary. I don't think so. Instead of doing that, let's look back and just say, hey, take a look at those 3 scary things that I just did. Who did it? This girl. And so the next time that we're stepping outside of our comfort zone and our brain's like, yeah, we've never done that before. Go, that brain right here. Actually, 3 weeks ago, we did exactly the same thing. And you know what? It was scary. And we did it. So we can do it again. And so keeping track of those steps by measuring backwards can really help us close that gap in moving forwards that we wouldn't see where we want to get to.
That's amazing. I love it. This girl with 2 thumbs. Yes, yes. So do you have one of your examples of somebody that you've watched go through this transformation? No names necessary, but somebody that you've watched that was, just yes, this was incredible to watch this transformation.
Oh my gosh. It's like, how do you pick between all of your favorite children? Sure. I think about clients that have, so most of the clients that I work with, they're so smart. They're so brilliant and so experienced in their leadership, and they have a story, something that they're telling themselves that's holding them back. I will say one of the most common ones is, I don't have a XYZ degree, fill in the blank. I don't have a something degree. That I'm not smart enough to fill in the blank degree. And that can really boost our confidence, or reduce our confidence, sorry. Where you find just that, I'm sitting in the space, I'm not going to step forward, I'm not going to go for that promotion because I'm not smart enough. And then we start looking at, okay, well, what if you change that? What if you rewrote that script to say, here's all the years of experience that you've gained. Maybe you don't have an MBA. However, here's all the things that you've done. Now let's get curious. Let's get curious. What could you do with that? And I think about the clients that when they start getting curious about that space, they're like, well, actually, and then your shoulders go back, chin goes up. And they're like, I did this and I led this. And, I had this executive award for, I said, did you need your MBA for that? Oh, no. Okay, then. What are you going to do? I'm applying for that job. Oh, yes, you are. And by the way, you got it. So thank you. So I think about so many clients that just reframe like that. It's your story. It doesn't have to be conventional. You tell it the way you want to.
I love it. I almost see the pulling back of the t-shirt, and there it is. Let's get curious.
I do too. And I love that you bring that up too, because when I coach a lot of my clients, even in small businesses, we feel like there's a little something lacking because we have such a great understanding of what we went into business for, right? And then there's all these unknowns around it. And when you step into small business shit, it's like those things become very aware very quickly. And you're like, what do I have to do?
Right.
Let me figure it out. So you start to doubt yourself a little bit more when you're in small business, because there's always something to learn. And I love that you kind of say, I ask my clients too, like, do you need that degree? Like one person was like, I'm going to do all my marketing. I want to get a degree in it. And I'm like, why? You're already killing your marketing strategy. You're doing so well. What else would you learn? But she just wanted that piece of paper, that proof that was, and I'm like, it was just showing her that the proof was already there.
Right. And such a big part of building your confidence and breaking through that assumption, those limiting beliefs that we have for ourselves of saying, I must have X to get Y. Do you?
Yeah.
What if it looked differently? What strengths do you have? What experiences do you have? Maybe you don't have an MBA. You're a really great systems thinker. You are really great at connecting people to purpose. You can analyze business data and look at trends. And by the way, you know how to use AI, which is really big in this field. So how do you market that instead?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that you're helping people see what their almost their superpowers are. Because sometimes we need somebody else to show us, because it's so easy for us. And we're like, what do you mean nobody else can do this well?
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you're helping them see that as well.
It's a definition of a superpower, isn't it, Amy? Is that, what's that thing that when people are like, oh my gosh, I just want you on my team because you do this. And you're like, what? That's so easy. Doesn't everybody do that? No. And then you found your superpower.
Exactly.
So what kind of woman do you find yourself really should be in the room with you to take that message away?
Anyone. But let's be specific. And I say that not flippantly. I say that because we all have our stories. We all have these moments of transitions that we're going through. And I think sometimes we say, oh, my transition is not as big as somebody else's, or it's not. Guess what? It's still a transition. And everyone's story is uniquely their own. And so I actually think the room is big enough for all of these stories. You know, when I coach, sometimes it's a 5 coaching session, sometimes it's up for half of a year. Transition can be like this, or it can be like that. But who should be in the room? The person who's ready and the one who doesn't know if she is.
I love that.
So all of the above. And bring your dog, by the way, because Jack likes
Yeah, Heather just showed us her dog earlier. She definitely loves her dog. Yeah, she's adorable, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and I appreciate that, because I think at any stage that we are, we're always can learn something. We always have that ability to learn, even things that we think we know inside and out. When we hear it in just a slightly different way, it's like, oh, I've been doing this for 20 years and somebody just said it in a totally new light.
Yes.
Wow. And there's that growth again that happens, that curiosity by allowing yourself to be in the room. Yes, yes. And so another question I love to ask with women getting visible is, why does visibility matter?
Visibility and being memorable are one of the top 3 things when I do 360 interviews that people say you need confidence, you need recommendations, and you must be visible and memorable. And that comes over and over again. And so putting ourselves out there, being uncomfortable enough to be visible, to ask for sponsorship, to step into those transitions boldly, even if we're pretending a little bit, is very critical to the growth that all of us have to do. Especially if you're a solopreneur or a small business owner, you know, your brand, your mission, your face, getting it out there and being visible is important for business. And I'm going to say a second piece, because when you were asking me about who I was coaching and why to be in the room, I think it's important to be visible for each other. And there's such a learning and a growth in that, of seeing, oh, wait a minute, you feel like that too? It's not just me that wonders what on earth this AI thing is doing, or feeling uncomfortable with, I don't know, this new tech that I had to do. Being visible to each other helps us remove those blocks, remove the shame, and maybe, you know, find a friend that can do something as well as or better or partner with us. So I think there's a visibility for putting our brand out there and stepping into our comfort zone. And then there's this community that we create by that visibility.
Absolutely. I am so excited, Heather, that you will be joining Amy and I in the room on June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in Minneapolis. Wow. I cannot wait to hear more from you, as well as a big old hug.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I am a hugger. Definitely there will be. It will be so much fun. I can't wait to be there.
Fantastic. So this is an invitation. So Amy, would you like to take it from here?
Yeah, we would love to have you join us in the room. You know, bring your friends, bring your coworkers, whoever you feel is really needing that really loving, intriguing curiosity space, right? That we are going to be bringing to the stage. So this isn't just, you know, come and listen. We want you to engage, be a part of the conversation, take things on, try something uncomfortable. This is a great opportunity for you to figure out, how do I want to be visible? So join us. We'd love to have you.
And thank you, everyone, for watching or listening today on this special speaker episode of Women Getting Visible. We'll see you in the room.